Hey guys, KKRC again. I really did want to get you guys a running video, but I'm still on the trials and tribulations of this thing. I don't. Well, first of all, the last running video. Well, I was gonna do a running video, but I stripped the crap out of one of these wheels. Now everyone knows that the stock Savages, until like the Savage X or something like that, had a 14 millimeter hex. Now I have on order a 17 millimeter hex conversion. I'm gonna do my own little conversion. I'm gonna piece parts together. You can pretty much use anything you want. Kyosho, Traxxas, all of them will fit one way or another. It's all about modifications of your own. So open up your mind and do what you need to do. That's kind of like what I did to this truck. You know, I just, you know, if you find what fits, I cut pieces of metal and whatever and make stands. So, you know, it's all about the creativity of it. Anyway, so what I did with the rears, I don't want to take these off. I was going to show you guys, but when I did take it off, one of the hexes actually came out of the wheel. And I didn't really, it was kind of stuck to the axle. So anyway, what I did was I drilled, if you can imagine, the hex, like, you know, let's just say this is the hex. I drilled a hole on each side, all the way through the rim. And I used an extra Allen wrench that I had laying around. I think it's a 2 millimeter, 2.5 millimeter, whatever it might be. And what I did is I shaved them down, cut them, shaved them down to about even with the back of the hex, and then even for where the flange nut goes right here. So that way it wouldn't be protruding in any way. And then what I did is I epoxied all around that, and I used the Loctite plastic weld stuff, which is, I think, better than the original epoxy, or the original stuff I had used before, which is this two-part. Everything's two-part. You got your hardener and your resin, whatever, but this is your this is what I used before, and it worked pretty similar to this stuff. It's still cracked out of the rim because the rim's flexing, but my pins stayed intact. So I didn't want to take everything apart. I don't want to take anything apart too much because I'm popping wheelies earlier, and you can see I just put this new roll bar, or, you know, handle on, and I popped a wheelie and it just went right over. So it's got nasty grip now, nasty torque. Everything's working as it should. So I didn't want to mess with this until I get my I ordered the HPI tires and Warlock rims, 17 millimeter. The only reason why I went that route is because they were cheaper. I didn't want to go pro lines or nothing like that, because I didn't really want to spend $100+ on tires and rims. I mean, this thing's already costing me a buttload of money, which brings me to my next purchase I just made, which is the Savox SA1231 SG for steel gear. If you can kind of see this without the glare there, so it's 444.4 inch-ounces of torque. That's at 6 volts. This thing only runs at 6 volts. I think 4.8 and 6 volts. It will not run at 7.4. It's not rated for that, but this is going to be a nice little torquey servo for this this truck. I haven't had a Savox servo yet, so this should be a nice little experience for me as a first-time Savox owner, and then you know, we'll go from there. So when I do the next video, I'm going to do a running video. I think I have these things locked in pretty good. I don't think they're going to come loose. If they do, if those pins come out the back side of the hex, I'm going to rip up the bearing, the seal for the bearing. And if they won't come out the front because the flange nut's holding them, so I just have epoxy on the back side of there. That's the only thing I can do. Or I'm going to find a washer that will go directly behind that, a thin washer. So if the pins do want to work their way out, they'll just ride on that washer. They won't try to go into the bearing and lock something up and cause even more damage to this thing. But I haven't really been bashing it, but I've been jumping it. I mean, you know, not anything crazy, which you see some of these videos online, but I'm having fun with it, and that's like pretty much the main thing. I like doing the speed runs. This 44 tooth spur, 15 tooth pinion is working out fantastically, and even on speed runs on this setup with 4S, I'm only getting maybe a little over 100 degrees. So if I were to really be on it for a long distance and just being crazy, I don't think I'm going to get the temps that are going to be anything to worry about. So I might go down a tooth on my pinion, maybe go down to 14, maybe get a little more top end. But the way it is right now, I don't want it any faster. It is super fast. For my little cul-de-sac and everything like that, I just don't want it to the point where I'm going so fast and then I try to maneuver it and it's flipping around and stuff like that. I kind of want to keep this one pretty because it was a special project for me, and it's just one of those things I want to keep good for a while. I don't want to keep it pretty and just sitting looking nice, you know, because what's the point in building it? But I'm going to have my fun with it. My battery trays, I'm going to do something. I'm going to shave down one of these posts here. It came with those standoffs. They're all the same length, but you can see they're kind of angled out in the front there. So I'm going to shave that down. Same on both sides, and I might even bring it in more because this handle right here. But Integy actually got back to me. I asked them specifically what the mounting points, the length of the mounting points are for their Savage XL roll cage, and they just came back to me and said point to point is 430 millimeters, and it says pretty much that on their website. So they literally did not help me out at all. So it's only 40 something bucks, 42 bucks for the roll cage. So I'm just gonna buy it, and then if I have to do some modifications, well, guess what, I will. I don't want to take the time right now to weld up a whole roll cage for this thing, so I might as well buy something pre-made for a Savage, one of the iterations of the Savage, and then try to put my own twist on it if it doesn't fit right. But I mean, this is pretty much the completed project here. I mean, it's a little janky. You know, there's zip ties still here. This is the antenna. This is my series wire loom, and I will figure out something different to do with that. I'm just trying to keep it away from my spur. And then I'll probably wrap up all the wires around here with some type of, you know, whatever it is to hold them all kind of down and in place. And then when I get my roll cage on, I'll probably just keep it as a roll cage, or I'll cut up a body to fit, you know, for body panels around the roll cage to give it a little more aesthetic feel, you know, pleasing to the eye type of deal. But for the most part, I actually like the way it looks now because it's a unique one. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that are converting these Savages. I don't think anyone's quite done this, you know, mount back here for the ESC. It's unique. Everyone's RC is unique to an extent. If you're buying it ready to run, it's not. But if you're doing something like this, everyone has their own way of doing things. And that's kind of the beauty of the hobby. You know, everyone's got a different twist on things, and you learn from all that stuff. So this is kind of just my update on the spinning, you know, me rounding out the hexes inside the wheels and what I did to fix that. When I do get my new wheels and stuff, then I'll show you guys exactly what I did if you didn't want to spend the money on new wheels and those hexes. And the hexes are not really made for this. They're HPI hexes, but I might have to do little modifications to the axle or buy different axles. I don't know yet. I'll wait till they come in the mail, and then, you know, we'll see. So next, I'll be putting on this servo, and I'll do like a little running vid of just this ripping up and down the street. I'll probably do another hat mounted GoPro video on this thing, and then show you the action with this servo, give you guys an idea of the amount of torque and what you're turning here. I mean, these are 6-inch wheel tires, and the thing is pretty heavy. I mean, I don't know how much this thing weighs with the batteries on, but just lifting it up right here, I would say that's a good 15 pounds. You know, somewhere around there. And then you throw the batteries and everything else on. If I get a steel roll cage, who knows how much this thing's gonna weigh. But this motor right here it's a beast. I mean, I wouldn't go backwards on that for sure. I wouldn't go any other, well, I can't say I wouldn't go any other brand because I don't have too much experience, but I would stick with this. I'm gonna go with this for all of my rest of my builds in the future. So anyway, guys, stay tuned for the next one. Hopefully a running video before something really breaks. Later.